Alright, yeah. I'm gonna want you to cheer exactly like that when the applause sign goes on, and then stop when it goes off. Alright, stationers, we're ready.
Check.
And we're on in 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Oh, yes, you, thank you. Yes, thank you. Quiet. Welcome to today's special Christmas edition of the Free Market of Ideas, the fair and balanced debate show that's always about the big ideas. I'm your host, Eunice Yang, and joining me today for a fair and balanced debate on the subject of PG&E, our first PG&E Local Director of Public Policy, Mr. Charles Chang Courtney. On the other side, we have Mr. Matt Ming, Democratic Socialists of America activist and local student at Chico State University.
You suck!
Recently, there have been lots of wildfires and power outages in the news, which has been quite the crisis striking California. Some have even been calling for the nationalization of PG&E in response to this whole crisis. Now, is that a fair assessment? Let's turn first to Mr. Charles Courtney. Thanks for inviting me on, Mr. Yang. Despite all the leftist jabbering, so few people are willing to offer a real platform for the real oppressed minorities. Corporations. Oh, these people. They gotta understand that it's not our fault. The fires, they have nothing to do with PG&E. California's been getting lots of rain recently, That's been causing lots of brush to grow. And so when there's lots of brush, we just toss even a little cigarette butt, it could cause a massive wildfire. What can we do about that? That's not a personal responsibility. Do we ban cigarettes? Do we ban rain? What do you want us to do? Control the winds? We can't control the winds. We're not mystical. You know what these politicians and big lawyers are trying to build? They're trying to hollow out our pockets and rally the rowdy masses against us. And loot our pockets and scapegoat us so that people can blame them when they're the ones at fault. Who else tried to do this? Hitler. This is a lynching. Well, that's a reasonable and rational take if I've ever heard one. Well, Mr. Matt Ming, how are you going to respond to that? Alright, you claim that PG&E has no responsibility here. Is it not PG&E's responsibility to trim trees and cut brush whenever it interferes with the proper functioning of power lines? PG&E's power lines are on average 68 years old. Isn't it PG&E's job to replace old power lines and power towers whenever they're interfering with, public safety? PG&E clearly isn't up to the task of dealing with the climate crisis that they themselves are contributing to, mind you. PG&E, in fact, refuses to allow consumers to switch over to solar and limits the amount of roof area that they can allocate to solar. It's mad. And it's not because PG&E is hurting for money at all. Oh no. PG&E itself gave $2.5 million to its leaving failed CEO, Geisha Williams, during bankruptcy proceedings. Whenever they cut down on maintenance and don't do the maintenance they need, well, all the savings that come from that, oh no, they don't ever go to the ratepayers, no. We don't ever get cuts, we only get raises. It all goes to the bunch of East Coast Wall Street financiers and all their shareholders who aren't Californians. It's madness. It's the logic of austerity. All the losses are socialized, all the gains are privatized. All the gains go to a few shareholders, all the losses are incurred onto ratepayers. You. Oh, do you think big government can run it better than we can? Oh, you want big government to take control? Do you want it to be run like the DMV? Are you serious? You look at how the DMV's run. Do you want us to turn into Venezuela? Do you want Soviet communism in Sacramento? Oh, dear God, no. Your response, Matt? Both Bernie Sanders' Green New Deal and California Democratic Socialists of America's Let's Own PG&E website, links in the description, already have very detailed plans on how we can operate a publicly owned public utility system on both a local, state, and national, especially, level. There's a huge precedent for this. Before the whole wave of neoliberal privatizations and deregulations wrought by the Clinton and Reagan administrations, well, public utilities was the norm in America, reaching all the way back to the Green Deal and agricultural cooperatives. Heck, you can see the legacy of this. In deep red Nebraska, their public utility system is so good that they're a leader in both solar panel installation and low rates for their consumers, as well as general customer satisfaction, which that is to say, the people's satisfaction. Publicly owned and run utilities would have a variety of democratic control mechanisms, which would make them much more accountable to the people rather than a group of private investors. Heck, the whole group of private investors would be out of the equation. It'd be funded and financed by the people, so you might see a temporary rate increase during the transition period. Then you'd get much better service, actually adequate care, and proper transparency. That sounds like utopian fantasy. In reality, it's just going to turn out into an inefficient bureaucracy filled with all sorts of inefficiencies that state-run governments have. You see, this is why we need PG&E. You people, oh my God. Just sell your houses, buy more heat-insulating material. Oh my god, just stop tossing your cigarette butts and cut your brush yourself if you want it so bad. Oh my god, this is an utter joke! You people are utterly contemptible monsters! Do you not understand things? Are you this removed from the people you're supposed to serve? Oh my god, you think power is a commodity to ordinary people? To the mother who has to heat the house for her children, to the worker who needs the power to do their work, for the student that needs light in order to study, for the elderly man who needs power for literally life support. This is a life and death matter for people. It's not just a matter of trading commodities. Oh my god. You cut your workers' salaries, ignore safety regulations, and even just completely make up financial. You want to turn us into Venezuela? You want to turn America into Venezuela? Oh, do you want Soviet communism? That's not failed ever, it's been tried. Death to capitalism. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, I'm sick of you blood money hoarders, you bourgeois pig, you capitalist scum. Oh my god. Contemptible chuds. Does it taste good for the broken elections, you bourgeois pig? You reek of blood money. Does it taste good for the broken lick? Oh my god, you absolutely contemptible chud. Oh, you capitalist scum. You bourgeois. Quiet! Off of the show! Off of the show! Both of you! This is cancelled! So much for the tolerant left. This is the end of national discourse in this country. This is the end of civility. You mean Dragamal! Get out the show. You invited me on!
Hey, liberal! Get out of here! I'll throw you out of the helicopter!
This guy was even cooperative either. This is what partisanship is doing in this country. On both sides! It's on both sides! Both sides!
Alright, cut! Thank you everybody for coming on this week. We'll have you on next week. Thank you very much. Please exit in an orderly fashion. Follow the signs. Alright, stay safe.